Shalawam, shalawam. Shalawam, shalawam. Barakatah Yahawah. Barakatah Yahawashi. Barakatah Yahawah. Barakatah Yahawashi. Barakatah Yahawah. Barakatah Yahawashi. Barakatah Yahawah. Barakatah Yahawashi. As always, Kal Halalyam, all praises. La to Yahawah. Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem Kakadash. Yahawah being the Father's name, which means He is. Bahashem in the name. Yahawashi being the Son's name, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, meaning He saves, He delivers. He is salvation. Yahawashi, that's the true name. And then Bahashem in the name. And Rakah Kadash, Rakah meaning spirit, Kadash meaning holy. Those are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Right? As always, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well, in sincerity taught us this truth. And Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men that's out here doing what they're supposed to do in all sincerity, maintaining themselves, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, right, to the best of their ability, man, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes. It's your brother Yerami Kazak, back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the strength and power and spirit of Yahawah Bashim, Yahawashi Bashim Kakadash. This lesson will be entitled Jacob's Trouble, Baby. Jacob's Trouble, Baby. Alright? Stoic, what's up, bro? Shalawam. Share the live out. You know, for brothers that do want to listen, that do want to learn, we here. All right. You know, if you ain't on that, then you just gonna come in and leave. All right. So we're gonna start the live in about 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes. Let brothers get up in here. I mean, we can see who on here, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be like, oh, that brother live, whatever. We see y'all coming alive and leave. We see all of that. Y'all like, whatever, man. All right. It's all good, though. Trust and believe. When the prophets, you know, was there and you denied them, that's you. Right? We ain't just gonna pop up when you need us. Okay? Yeah, yo. I mean, what we supposed to do now? They got the chip. It's mandatory. But you should have been listening. Fuck, what we supposed to do then? You should have been listening. Right? You should have been listening. Okay? It's gonna show if you was really in the lives. Alright? At the end of the day, it's gonna show. If you was really reading the scriptures, if you was filtrating your life with the scriptures, it's gonna show. If you a wise man or you a foolish man, it's going to show. Alright? So, you know, let's get into this, man. Jacob's Trouble, baby. Alright, we're gonna go over a couple videos. I'm gonna play this one right here, and then we're gonna talk about it.
It's an honor to speak with you about how the United States is going to dominate crypto and the next generation of financial technologies. And it's not going to be easy, but we're way ahead. I signed an order creating the brand new strategic Bitcoin reserve and a U.S. digital asset stockpile, which will allow the federal government to maximize the value of its holdings instead of foolishly selling them for a fraction of their long-term value, which is exactly what Biden did. We're ending the last administration's regulatory war on crypto and Bitcoin, and that includes stopping the lawless Operation Choke Point 2.0. I've also called on Congress to pass landmark legislation creating simple, common-sense rules for stablecoins and market structure. Pioneers like you will be able to improve our banking and payment system and promote greater privacy, safety, security, and wealth for American consumers and businesses alike. I can already see that the energy and passion of the crypto community is the kind of spirit that built our country, and it is exciting to watch as you invent the future of finance. And right here, it's going to be right here in the USA, the good old USA. Together we will make America the undisputed Bitcoin superpower and the crypto capital of the world. It's an honor to speak with you.
Boom. So that's the future of the U.S., man. Okay? Cryptocurrency. Now, doesn't this align with prophecy? All right? And, bro, it's Cal. It's Kal. K-A-L. All right? Kal Halalyam. Halalyam. Kal Halalyam. Where the brothers at, man? Y'all see these brothers, messing the Hebrew up? Help them, bro. Correct them. Alright? Come on, bro. Kakama, somebody stoic. Y'all brothers are vets more so, man. Y'all supposed to help this brother, man. Alright? Yeah. You said you didn't mess nothing up. You messed it all up. What you talking about? I'm going to pin yours and I'm going to pin the brother Kakamas, bro. You put Ka, Hala, Wa, Kabad, La, Yahawah, Baha, Sham, Yahawashi. I just corrected you, bro. It's Kal, Halalyam. Alright, bro. I don't like. I just corrected you. Yeah, that's that. Okay, go ahead, do your thing. Alright, do your thing, bro. Okay, I ain't got time for it today. Yeah, you put Ka. Ka ain't no word, bro. Ka. Okay, we ain't even about to get over it. Get on, like, what? These are minor things. It's just shit we ain't even tripping over. Let's keep it going.
San Juan, Puerto.
Now, this is furthermore, the crypto conversation.
Rico is now called home by many crypto entrepreneurs.
It started because of the taxes. Now it's like the place to do business.
Including David Bailey, founder of Bitcoin financing company Nakamoto.
David, congratulations. Whatever the hell you do, you did a hell of a job.
But Bailey is not just your regular Bitcoin investor. He's credited as turning President Trump from a crypto skeptic into a true believer, hosting then candidate Trump at his annual conference in 2024.
Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before.
A year later, Bailey says that vision is becoming a reality. How would you describe this moment we're in?
I feel like right now we're at the tipping point of Bitcoin going from the early adopter phase to really becoming a mainstream asset that's going to be a part of every person's life, whether or not they even realize it.
Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies may still seem fringe for many Americans. The idea of an alternative form of digital money, not tied to any bank or government, is hard to understand. But in the last 6 months, the government has taken dramatic steps to take it mainstream. In April, the Justice Department declared it would cease cryptocurrency enforcement. In June, the director of the Federal Housing Agency told lenders to include crypto when evaluating mortgage applications. This past week, the president signed an executive order that could make it easier for digital assets to be included in 401ks and other retirement plans.
And this is the transition. This is the gradualism of the whole system, right? How it's moving in slightly, okay? Ever since Nero has took office, it's been a digital currency focus. And if you actually read these bills, these executive orders that are passing, you will see it's digital assets and things, digital currency is being pushed in those things. This is how you get 3 cryptocurrency bills being passed in the same week. This is how you get the Genius Act. This is how you get these things coming to pass to make money obsolete and furthermore move digital currency to the forefront because it's fulfilling prophecy. All right? Yeah, I know. You know, I ain't about to get into it with nobody. All right? That's why I said do his thing. He could do his thing. You know? He's a babe though, you know, and he knows that. He's coming up slowly. But, you know, look, when I try to correct somebody and they don't want to take it, it is what it is. Like, go do your thing. I'm not here to go back and forth with anybody, man. All right? So, this is August 7th. This bill was passed. This stuff is being passed. They're checking when you're trying to get a house, cars, stuff like that. They're checking your cryptocurrency. So, digital currency is becoming... It's going to be moved to the forefront. It's going to be put in the front. Right? Let's let it go some more.
I think that right now, they're on a sugar high. Amanda Fisher worked for the Securities and Exchange Commission under President Biden and has concerns about such a volatile investment. I think that the end result is that investors are going to get hurt at a minimum, but I also fear that it could metastasize into the wider financial system and cause instability and even a crisis. Proponents of crypto would argue, look, this is just diversifying your portfolio. What do you say to that? In the long haul, unregulated markets do not provide the baseline to support people's long-term financial health. Industry insiders, like those who joined President Trump to sign the first ever crypto bill into law last month, are convinced crypto is here to stay.
And that's what we was talking about. 3 crypto bills got passed in one week. That was last month, July, right? So everything that came to be right now, how you see America being trashed right now, how you seeing, rainbow being in the forefront, Pride Month, all of this type of stuff, how you seeing that happen? That happened gradually, okay? You said, what does that mean? We're going to tell you what it means. All right, just hold on and let me put the pieces together for you. Okay, let's let it go some more.
The next time Bitcoin crashes in price, are you saying that it's likely to cause a recession because it's so now intertwined into all of the financial institutions?
I'm saying that when Bitcoin booms, the global economy will boom. And when Bitcoin tanks, the global economy will have a recession. And so we're just entering a world where, as important as oil is to the global economy, as important as gold is to the global economy, Bitcoin is that important to the global economy.
Congress is also debating additional crypto bills. The big one here is the Clarity Act. It provides the first ever regulatory framework for digital currency.
Woo! We got to touch on that.
And supporters say this is going to make digital currency like Bitcoin more accessible to everyone, but the critics fear that these bills are not going to do enough to protect consumers and investors. San Juan...
You don't got to be protected. Let's type that up. The Clarity Act. Clarity Act. All right. The Clarity Act, officially known as the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act of 2025, is a proposed, as she said, Congress is, deliberating over these bills, proposed U.S. federal law aimed at establishing a regulatory framework for digital assets, particularly digital commodities, and clarifying the roles of the Securities and Exchange Commission and Commodity Futures Trading Commission in their oversight. The bill, introduced in the House of Representatives in May 2025, has passed the House and is currently awaiting Senate review. And it's a go ahead. If Trump says it's a go ahead, it's a go ahead. But who is Trump controlled by? The banking families, right? So when they want to move their puppet is going to move, right? Because if you look at it from a financial standpoint, crypto is not really something you want to deal with. Because the way it fluctuates, the way it goes up, the way it goes down, it's not stable like that. Bitcoin, I remember, because I used to do stocks, futures, trading, all of that bullshit. Bitcoin, XRP, all that. So Bitcoin, it could go up to 55. Then one day it could drop down to 30. You know what I'm saying? That's how it moves. In some instances, it's not safe money. But who knows when it's going to drop? The banking families, the insiders, because who's controlling the market? So if they get everybody tucked into that, then they can control everybody's financial future. They can control the market. When you're dealing with stocks, you got such things called hedge funds. And matter of fact, let's go through this because everybody needs to know this. All right. BlackRock Incorporated is a multinational investment company and the world's largest asset manager with approximately 10.6 trillion in assets under management, founded in 1988. Who controls BlackRock? The banking families. This is the largest investment firm known to man. The largest investment firm, period. This is, I don't want to get the live taken down, but this is, the, what's the word? This is the mascot for the bankers. The mascot. BlackRock and Vanguard. Let's go to Vanguard. Vanguard Investments. Vanguard Group Incorporated is an American registered investment advisor founded on May 1st, 1975 and based in Malvern, Pennsylvania with about 10.4 trillion. Right? They're right behind BlackRock. But guess what? Both of these companies are funded and ran by the same individuals. That's not just one individual. That's the banking families. Okay? That's the wicked that runs the earth, that controls the earth, that has the power to start wars and end wars. It doesn't matter about military. It doesn't matter about popularity. No, it matters about finances. All right? That's what it matters about. So keeping it going. In global assets under management as of January 31st, 2025. All right. So BlackRock, Vanguard. If you're taking notes, write those down. BlackRock and Vanguard. You can make a little arrow, put up here, ran by the banking families. All right. And then you could take, how is that important? Why is that important? Because whoever runs these investment companies, they control the flow of the market, meaning they control the flow of every single country. If they want to take, 500 billion out of Tesla and Tesla falls to the ground, they can do that. If they want to take a couple billion out of Walmart and it falls to the ground, they can do that. Okay? At the end of the day, Jesus is not king. All right, BME. Who we talking about actually gave you that name of Jesus. Do you know who funded Cesare Borgia? Do you know who funded Serapis Christos and gave you that false name? Right? Who was behind corrupting and tainting the Hebrew? Who was behind these individuals? These are the people we are talking about. Who gave you a false name, bro? All right? At the end of the day. So that's a Latin name, Earth Pig, G's, and Sus. You need to go do some homework on that and get some understanding on that. But you see how an individual will come in here and say that, It's because the banking families, the ones that really rule the world, they have tainted his mind. They have destroyed his mind. They have brainwashed him. All right? Ain't nobody going back with nobody name. Ain't nobody going back and forth with nobody named Islam is the truth. We going to get you out of here ASAP. Okay? Now, let's hit some scriptures. Been quoting it. This is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who's the wicked? Who is the earth in the hands of? Who controls the earth right now? That's a question to the comment board. That's a question to the comment board. Who controls the earth right now? Khan. Yep. Esau, Edom. The banking families. Esau, Edom. And we ain't talking about no regular Edomite that you see on the street. No, we talking about the elite of Esau. The elite of Edom. You have elites in every nation. Right? You have elites in the nation of the Japhetic nations. You have kings. Right? You have kings in their nations. You had King Kamehameha. Right? Who established Hawaii. Right? A Japhite. You have kings, you had King Nebuchadnezzar. Okay? You had King, who else? What's another king of the Japhetic nations? Shoot. I can't, nothing really comes to mind right now, but you got a lot of these kings of, all these kings, Sun Tzu, right? The wise in Moab, but he might have been Jake, just because how that man wise as hell. All right, the wisdom that he had. He could have been Jake. All right, but you have, Xing Ping. That's definitely a Moabite. That's a king for them. Xing Ping. All right, what's his name? Dude in North Korea. Dang. Y'all know who I'm talking about, man. All right, they're kings. So you have kings of different nations. Right? Yeah, Genghis Khan. Exactly. So you have kings of different nations that are lifted up high. Yeah, Kim Jong-un, Tawada Ak. Okay? But just because you a king in a different nation, that doesn't mean you rule the earth. That doesn't mean that the earth is given into your hands. No, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So you have to therefore understand who the wicked is. Malachi 1:3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahawah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. This is wherever they go. This is what the school system failed to teach our people. Your nation. Wherever we go, we Israelites. It doesn't matter if I'm in China, the brother Darashimov in Australia, the brother Kakama in Russia. We're Israelites, right? So wherever the Edomites go, wherever they live, they're known as, they're the wicked. Their nation is the border of wickedness. They are the wicked, right? Wherever they live on this planet. And the people against whom Yahawah have indignation forever. Petra was, how it is. They're not living there no more. So they were scattered. In a sense, Petra was, how it is. They're not living there no more. So they were scattered. In a sense, Salakia, let me put my phone on charger. But they moved into the Ottoman Empire. They moved into the Khazarian Empire, things of that nature, right? They moved. They was in Rome and Greece, and as Greeks, they're not Greeks. They're not Romans. They moved into these lands. What still happened because they was there? Wickedness, because that's who they are. They're extremely wicked. They came out of the Caucasus Mountains. They took over Spain, took over Rome, Italy, took over Germany took over all these lands once again. All right? And they're the border of wickedness. They're wicked because they are there. All right? I don't know what I said that needed fruits like that. Did I say something? I gotta watch my language. What'd I say? But let's keep it going. So they are the wicked, man. And furthermore, let's go to Psalms 17 and 13. Arise, O Yahawah, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Who's Yahawah's sword? It's Esau Edom. It's Esau Edom. He's a minister. Let's get that in Romans, the 13th chapter. Verse 4. For he is the minister of power to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of power, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Yahawah uses Esau to bring out judgment. He can use whoever he wants to, right? But Esau is also known as the sword. In Jacob's trouble, which this whole lesson is about, Esau, the sword, is going to come down. The brother Yasharahla, Shalawam to that brother, did a beautiful lesson talking about the sword is sharpened. And it most definitely is, man. Right? It most definitely is. Okay? The brother put a definition, Salakia. He put extended form of earlier wick. Bad, wicked, false, which apparently is an adjective use of Old English, Wicca, wizard, see, witch. And that's what Esau was in the garden, as the serpent, Nakash, right? He was a warlock, a wizard, or a witch, right? A sorcerer. He uses spells. He uses any type of witchcraft and spells. Yeah, subtile. He's the most subtile of the most subtile beast of the field. So he's extremely subtile, crafty, sneaky, right? So he uses sorcery to deceive and manipulate and destroy people. This is why you got individuals coming here calling on the name of Jesus, because they're under that spell, right? Now, who allowed Esau to do that? Yahawah. Yahawah say he would put a spell, a strong delusion over you. Is he going to come down, touch you, and put a spell? No, he uses the sword. He can use a wicked ass Jake to put a strong delusion over you. Have you going to a church, just in there praising Jesus. That's a strong delusion. He uses individuals, right? So Esau is the sword. Esau is the wicked. All right. So let's get some more.
Puerto Rico is now called home by.
Let's get some more. Let's look into what's going on in
I'm announcing a historic
DC.
action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is?
Let's look that up, man. Section 740. Home Rule Act. All right. Section 740 of the DC Home Rule Act. When they say this stuff, look this stuff up. Operational control of the Metropolitan Police Department of the District of Columbia. The authority of the president conferred by Section 740 of the Home Rule Act to direct the mayor with respect to the current special conditions of an emergency nature is delegated to the Attorney General. So it basically giving Trump the ability to take over the police department. He does not supposed to have that power. They supposed to do their own thing. So now he's more so he's the commander in chief. But do you know, for the president to utilize Even to utilize the National Guard and the Army, Congress, you're supposed to delegate over that. We're supposed to, talk about it. He doesn't even want to talk about it. He just skipping you and using an executive order or something that was in place. Because this is the thing. When we talking about the balances of power, you got three balances of power. You got the judicial branch, the executive branch, and the legislative branch. Now, the executive branch it doesn't have to be checked by these other branches because executive orders, because of certain such things like martial law. All right? When martial law is invoked, Trump has all the power. He don't got to wait for Congress. He don't got to wait for the judges. He don't got to wait for nothing else. The law does not apply to him no more. All right? And that's what he's kind of doing. As brothers were saying, he's invoked martial law without invoking martial law. And that's what this bill gives him the ability to do. All right, let's read a little bit more into it on the article that came out. President Trump on Monday, and this is the article, The Hill, and what is Section 740 of the D.C. Home Rule Act, right? Which, man, you got Jake in that city. You know they're not going to go study and read this, not even knowing what he has the power to do. They just going to go out there and protest like some dummies and be like, stop, you can't do that. Well, actually, he can. Actually, the power that he has been ordained, it's been given to him by the Most High. So whether you can protest all you want, man. It ain't nowhere in the Bible that say to protest, bro. It ain't nowhere in the Bible that say to march. Go up and down the street marching, man. What is that about? All right. President Trump on Monday announced he was taking federal control of DC's police department and deploying the National Guard in the city in an attempt to fight crime. It could have been whatever. He justified it by that. It doesn't matter. Whatever the devil says, he has the ability to do it at this point in time. Because Yahawah has given him that ability to do so. Because he is the sword. Therefore, he comes down with the sword. And you think because you special, because you think you have a right to live in America, to live a peaceful life. You think you have that right. You think just because you going out there protesting is going to do something about that. You can't stop Jacob's trouble. All right? It's supposed to pass. And deploying the National Guard in the city in an attempt to fight crime. And if you looked into it more, what did he do? He sent the Secret Service to help them. He sent federal agents to help them. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals. Dang, it's that bad in D.C.? I know D.C. bad, DMV, but shit. They're going to make it sound extremely bad. Roving mobs of wild youth, them YNs, drugged out maniacs. Hey, put some fruits. I ain't mean to say that word. And homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. The president said. All right. The president is taking over the Metropolitan Police Department via the District of Columbia Home Rule Act, Section 740. Congress passed the act in the 1970s to give D.C. control over its local affairs. Here's what you need to know about the history and background of Section 740. And we can read a little bit into it. Then I want to get some scriptures, man. The D.C. City Council states on its website that the Home Rule Act is the result of the ongoing push by district residents for control of their own local affairs. In 1790, Congress created the federal district to be the nation's capital. The Constitution states that the district lies under the jurisdiction of the legislative branch. While D.C. residents can participate in the presidential election with 3 electoral votes, they do not have a member of Congress who can vote on legislation. In the wake of the passage of the Home Rule Act of 1973, D.C. was allowed a council and mayor, but Congress still reviews all legislation passed by the council before it can become law and retains authority over the district's budget. even under the DC government established by the Act. Section 740 is a portion of the Home Rule Act that states if a president determines that special conditions of an emergency nature exists, DC's mayor has to lend them such services of the Metropolitan Police Force as the president may deem necessary and appropriate. So whatever he deems it necessary and appropriate. It might not even be necessary and appropriate, but he deems it necessary and appropriate. You have laws like this that have been passed over all the states. We went into this last year talking about in Philadelphia and LA and a couple other major cities where 911 is going to stop coming. 911 is only going to respond to homicide and things of that nature. Domestic dispute, they're not coming. You a woman, you getting your ass beat, they're not showing up. This is what we talking about when we talking about Jacob's trouble, man. You ain't going to be able to call the cops. Your house burning down, the fire department's not coming. This is what we talking about. Let me get that for you, and then we're going to get a lot of other precepts, man. I got some precepts on my mind. This is Daniel 8:23 from the brother Tassad. And it reads, and in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding, dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. What's the holy people? Who's the holy people? Comment board, question to you. Who's the holy people? Khan, Israel, Yasharahla. Does that matter? It doesn't matter if you're a 1/3 or a 2/3? I'll answer that. No, it doesn't. Okay, exactly. Brother said nope. No, JK, it doesn't. All right? Yeah, our brothers and sisters, some of them may be 2/3. They may be bugged out their mind, but they still holy people. They were still created to be righteous in a sense where when they come into the kingdom, they're going to have an everlasting body. Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi has everlasting mercy upon them. So they will come back through regeneration, reincarnation. All right? Through the loins of a 144,000 or 1/3 man. Okay? So they're still, in essence, holy people. They were set apart. They are a set apart people. Holy just means set apart, separate. All right? They're supposed to be set apart. Although they don't want to be because they're moving in the ways of the world. Right? So to answer your question, you said what happens if an Israelite takes the MOTB? They're done. Like, they're done. Ain't no repenting from that. They're done. All right? But in essence, they were created to be holy. So they are still holy people. You know what I'm saying? Who is this guy? Ship Jr. You said we need to form a union together so we can take care of each other. Guess what, bro? It's called the elect. It's called the hopeful elect. Okay? It's called the hopeful elect. You in the midst of it right now. This is the union. The body of Hamashiach. All right? And in your terms, the body of Christ. All right? We don't use the term Christ. We say Hamashiach, the anointed one. This is that union. What the Goofy was talking about yesterday, solidarity. This is that solidarity amongst the elect, amongst the wise of our nation. Right? So let's keep that going. And let's go to, I got 2nd Esdras 15 floating in my mind. Let's go over there. 2nd Esdras 15. And more so to you, Snip Jr., is you don't want to move in a carnal sense of forming militias and stuff like that. Trust me, bro, that's not going to work. Right? The only thing you can do right now is pray If a brother or brother could give that brother the correct names in the comment board. All right. Somebody give him the names. Yeah, Khan, the brother already gave it to you. Our faith is in Yahawah and Yahawashi. Wah means and. So our faith is in Yahawah and Yahawashi. That's what we got. Right? That's the only way we making it up out of here. We not making it up out of here because, oh, another brother had the pew pew and he been prepping food for months. No. And you linked up with that brother. No, you're not making it out of here because of that. You're not making it out of here because a brother had a bulletproof bunker under his house. No. You're not making it out of here because of that. You're not making it out of here because a brother knew how to make a fire and he knew all these wilderness survival skills. No, you're not making it out of here because of that. Okay? We come in all different shapes and sizes, got all different backgrounds. Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi is going to get us up out of here. Not by the wisdom of the world. So you might be able to make a fire and turn dirty water into clean water, which, yeah, that's possible. And, hey, if you can do that, kudos to you. But that ain't gonna save your life, man. Isaiah 65:13 is what's going to happen. Stuff is going to be provided to us. Right? So that union that you seeking for, brother, is right here amongst the brothers that's calling on Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi, as you see in the comments. That's what that union is. All right. Now this is 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. And let's start at 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Where's the land of Egypt? Comment board. Where is the spiritual land of Egypt? Or where's the land of Egypt which is referred to in this passage, in this verse? Where is that land of Egypt? Comment board. Yep. America. All right, America. Let's get it. Let's prove it in the scriptures. And for anybody taking notes, this is Revelations 11:8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. That's here. That's America. Okay? How did they crucify him? By teaching you the name of Jesus. By painting him as a YT man. By putting up that image all over the churches. By telling you that he's a YT man. By giving you movies, Passion of the Christ, Gospel of John, Gospel of Matthew, Gospel of Mark. These movies that they give you. I like the show The Chosen, but that's still crucifying him on that show. Because it's painting him as a YT man. That's a great show. And hey, I might cry sometimes on that show, whatever. Because I'm thinking about what Yahawashi had to go through. But that's still a form of crucifixion. It's incorrect. It's improper. It's teaching our people the wrong way. Right? That's how he was crucified in America. All right? This is the land of Egypt, spiritually. The land of Sodom. I don't even got to talk about that. Just look around. Hey, a whole lot of baby lotion parties was going on. Remember that? Right? You know what I'm saying? Johnson and Johnson. Ain't this the land of Sodom, man? Ain't this the land of Sodom? Okay? So, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Led as a flock to the slaughter. Take us back to Daniel 8 and 23-24. Right? They will begin to unalive the holy people. You led as a flock to the slaughter. You led to it. By who? By all these wicked pastors, false prophets, false messiahs. All right? From the Yah-Jews to the Yakubs. All right? From the Yah-Jews to the Yakubs. You led to slaughter. All right? Let's keep it going. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt. with plagues as before. Wait a minute, as before? So this ain't talking about Egypt back in the day. He said he gonna do something to Egypt again as before. Well, Egypt, if you go to Egypt right now, it ain't, we not there. Even the Egyptians don't live there. The Egyptians live in Sudan. If you know your history, the Egyptians got kicked out of Egypt. Okay? So this is talking about that place which is spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom. So that's what's going on. So he's going to smite America with plagues, all right, as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. All of America will be destroyed. All of America will burn. That lake of fire, right? Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that power shall bring upon it. You can't stop it. The Most High ordained for it to happen. Okay, can we save Babylon? No, we can't. You got to let it go. It's done. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fell through the blasting in hell, and with a fearful constellation. Woe, destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. Those that till the ground, that means those that work here. You got corporations, businesses here. You thought you was going to establish your business 20 years, 30 years, pass it down to your son. It's not going to happen, Jake. Okay? It's not going to happen, Jake. You got a house. You paying the mortgage. You know, that's good. You got a house. I got a house. I pay the mortgage. Guess what? It's only set up for here, man. The water Yahawah Shem Yahawashi to give me this. But I know that this is temporary until I'm getting up out of here. Right? I'm good. I got everything I need. I don't need more. Okay? I got my pleasures. I play the Xbox. I got a basketball goal. I got a backyard. You know, he allowed me to build that with the work of my hand. But still, all of that is vanity because all of that will pass away. You understand? We not holding on to any of these things. Don't be Lot's wife. Lot came out of the land of Sodom. We are coming out of the land of Sodom. Don't be Lot's wife looking back. What about my flat screen, Yahawah? What about my flat screen TV? A lot. Don't be that goofy individual, man. All right? Don't be that dude. And look, even down to the point of your family. You might, what about my wife? If she not with you, then she wicked. If she not with you, then she wicked. If she not with you going into that chariot, she wicked. It's some shit you ain't know about her probably. She got a couple dudes on the side, bro. You thought she was innocent. No, she was good at hiding it. Whoever is with us going into that chariot is supposed to be with us. I'm saying this a lot and I'm going to keep saying it. If they with us right now, they supposed to be with us. Unless they leave us. If they leave us, they not supposed to be with us. Understand? So all of this stuff is vanity, man. All of this stuff is vanity. Hey, all praises. Halalyam, Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. Right? We can stand over here and say, Halalyam, Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. But you got these other guys, they just all praises, all praise, all praise. Because they scared to say the name. They can't even say the name. They scared of the name. They know it's a lot of wickedness on their conscience, man. You know? Shalawam, let's keep it going. So those that's working, you till the ground, you gonna mourn. For your seeds, your labor shall fail. It's over. It's all gonna be burnt up. All right? Now we have to what? Endure until the end. So yeah, we gotta go to the plantation. We gotta clean up. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. We are slaves in a foreign land under captivity. So we have to endure until the end. We know the future, most definitely, and we hope to be of that number. All right? Let's keep it going. Woe to the world, destruction to the world. What world is that? The world of Edom. This kingdom, the heaven of the beast. That's why I said it should be a new earth and a new heaven. It's not literally going to be a new earth. No, man. It's not literally going to be a new earth. The earth endures forever. That's Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. The earth is forever. It's going to be a new society, a new establishment, a new kingdom, a new rulership. Right? Hey, Shalawam to Zaquan. Oh, yeah. Shalawam, bro. Okay? Verse 15. And this is getting back to everything we were saying about Jacob's trouble. The lesson is entitled Jacob's Trouble Baby. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Let's go back to TikTok. What's going on?
And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition,
and they done it before. That was key words. When I heard that, I was like, okay.
Deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And
fruits, because he said the R word, fruits. Salakia.
You can be anything you want, but you want...
Tonight, hundreds of...
All right. Let's get a little bit more, and then we're going to hit back to 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. Hey, Shalawam, bro, that's you? Okay. Lion of Judah. That's what's up. That's what's up. See, that brother changed his name from APTTMH, man. Hey, man, hey, you know, claps for that, man. That's what's up, bro, because what's that? That's a contrite heart. That's a humble spirit, you know? You don't know how many brothers we don't came across. We told them stop saying APTTMH, actually say the names, and they bucking up against that. They like, well, I don't want to say the names. Okay, well, take your ass on. But, you know, that's beautiful that the brother changed his name. I'm going to get that from the brother Yahawah, 1 Thessalonians 4 and 11. We don't see that much. And you don't, it's because we not quality over quantity, you know, right? Hopefully, you know, we be of that number. If we up in here and we doing what we supposed to do, we studying our word, we learning, we growing, we watching videos, we listening to the elders, right? We fasting, we praying, we keeping the Shabbat to the best of our ability. We you know, hopefully we be of that number, man. This is 1 Thessalonians 4 and 11. And that you study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you, that ye may walk honestly towards them that are without, and that ye may have lack of nothing. Honestly towards them that are without. That's a lot of our brothers and sisters that don't understand it, that don't have it. So just because you have it, yeah, you got the Holy Spirit, you got the truth, you got the breakdowns. You got to walk honestly towards them. You got to, first and foremost, be a light, be an example. You know, oh, brother on live, oh, brother going hard, oh, brother dropping precepts, oh, brother dropping lessons, oh, et cetera, et cetera. You know, oh, man, brother ain't got no lineup. Well, what's that about? Well, ask, right? Why y'all do this? Why y'all don't, you know, what's that about? So then, boom, we can start talking about the law. We can start getting an understanding. The works will show. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. It keeps you also being humble when you deal with individuals. That's walking honestly towards them that are without. I had to get on a brother earlier today because he was going in a couple lives and he was talking to them like they've been in the truth. They not in the truth. I can't talk to a brother that just came in the live his first time today hearing that he's a Hebrew Israelite. I can't talk to him like he been in the truth. No. You got to be nice and kind and and give that brother some time to repent and convert. It don't happen overnight, man. And every single brother in here, you know your transition was not overnight. All right? Shit. Y'all know that. So we can't, because that'll be shutting off the kingdom of heaven to our brothers. Giving them a type of path that we didn't follow. Right? Let's get that Psalms 4 and 2 from the brother Tassad. And it reads, O ye sons of men, how long will you turn my glory into shame? How long will you love vanity and seek after leasing Salah? Right? And we are, how long, as Yahawashi said, we the salt of the earth, but if the salt lost its savor. We supposed to be the glory of Yahawah. The man is the glory, right? As the woman is our glory. What if our woman out here doing BS, doing this and doing that, and she's supposed to be our glory, but she out here shaking her ass for other men? Your glory is tainted. Your glory is shameful. So that's what we did. We was out here twerking with these other gods. Out here throwing our body to these other gods, to Molech, to Astaroth, to Baal. We was throwing our body to them, playing the harlot. Right? Ain't you gonna be pissed off? You don't think Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi was pissed off? You know what I'm saying? So we can't be his glory and turn into shame. Let's keep going, man. Check the comment board. The brother said they got demons on them that fear the names. The names won't even come off their lips. Yahawah don't want them to get it. He put that spirit in them to be high-minded. Right? And Salakia, bro, Salakia is spelt with a Y. It's spelt with a Y. Where you put that I at, it's a Y. Salakia. What else? Y'all ain't got no precepts. Brother said, we at the end, they're going to start turning back to the truth. Yeah, most definitely. The brother said the correct Sabbath, not that BS the other groups keep. According to the lunar and the Sabbath this week, for anybody that don't know, is Thursday to Friday. Thursday to Friday, according to the lunar cycle. We just had a full moon Shabbat, and brothers was posting it up. It was a blood moon, if brothers saw that, right? And now we're about to have a third quarter Shabbat. And then we'll have one more Shabbat next week. And then we'll have a Shabbat. Damn, puzzle piece. We'll have a Shabbat immediately after that. Right? Which it'll either come on Friday or Saturday. I'll post it up. The elders gonna post it up. We're gonna make it be known. All right. Shalawam, Brother Kawam. Everybody coming up in. 4-4 Joker said, I'm quitting the Zah for the Most High. Struggling with it, ain't gonna lie, pray for me. I was in your situation before, bro. Alright? I'm telling you, boy, I was rolling them tree trunks, man. Alright? But I quit that. Alright? Almost 5 years ago when I came into this truth. And I quit that, most definitely. So yeah, you can do it. I cold turkey. I quit blacks, Newports, all that shit. I cold. Now it's hard, most definitely, but I suggest fast and pray. Because when you fast, you gonna help to push out them toxins out of your body. Alright? So that's what that addiction is. It's a demon, most definitely, and it's a lot of toxins that your body is addicted to, that chemical that's in the Zah. You know what I'm saying? So, you could do it, bro. You could do it. Alright, if that's I think it's a brother. I really can't tell, but you could do it, man. Alright, but hey, somebody get that brother the true names. Somebody give 4-4 Joker the true names. Alright, you can do it through those names and through these scriptures, through the laws, commandments, and statutes, through coming back into this truth, man. All right, so let's keep it going. All right, let's go back to that second address. A matter of fact, let's play this video, and then we're going to go back to second address, the 15th chapter, and we're going to begin to wrap it up.
National Guard troops reporting for duty, awaiting deployment around the nation's capital. Acting on President Trump's orders after he declared a crime emergency, activating 800 Guard members and instituting a 30-day federal takeover of D.C. police, despite police statistics that show violent crime is declining here. We've been watching members of the D.C. National Guard trickle in one by one all day here at the D.C. Armory. Soon as many as 200 at any time will be in neighborhoods like this, where a defense official tells NBC News they'll be supporting law enforcement with activities like crowd management, perimeter control, and other security assistance. Most Guard members won't be armed and won't be making arrests, according to the defense official. Instead, their support is intended to free up law enforcement to fight crime. The White House says its push is already well underway. Last night, approximately 850 officers and agents were surged across the city. They made a total of 23 arrests. Those arrests include homicide and drug distribution, according to the White House, which...
All right, so that's also, that's major. And then let me go back, because don't forget the, what was that act that passed that gave ICE, it gave them like $100 billion. I'm going to get that real quick. Because all this stuff is topping over itself, right? It's all stacking on over itself. 100 billion. If a brother know it, you could put it. Yeah, Salakia, the BBB, man. I'm tripping, right? Yeah, the big beautiful bill. Okay, most definitely. So that gave ICE over 100 billion to what? To build facilities and to employ over 10,000 employees. So you have that along with him incorporating this in DC. And this will be, see what's going on in DC right now is it's the example of what's going to go on in LA, New York, Philly, Atlanta, Chicago. This is the example. They're testing it out. How they tested out the jabby jab. That's the example for the MOTB. Okay? So, yeah, that King Alpha plan, Khan. So, this is the example. They're testing it out. They're working it out. It's an experiment. All right? And, hey, man, Yahawah, it go well. Because we want it to go well, man. We trying to get up out of here. Okay? The BBB, I'm going to read this right here. That big, beautiful bill. It directs $170.7 billion towards immigration and border enforcement over about a 4-year period ending in September 2029. Right? So that's a massive amount of money. And with that, they're going to build more alligator Alcatraz. They're going to employ more officers. They're going to get what? More AI, robots, weapons, vests, whatever it may be. Whatever they need, vehicles, helicopters, whatever they need to deport us. Because it's not just going to be Northern Kingdom. It's going to be Southern Kingdom as well, man. For you Southern Kingdom brothers, man, I feel bad for the Northern Kingdom. And they coming for us too. Okay? They already tried to mess with Levi. All right? So let's go back to second address, the 15th chapter. And Shalawam to every single brother that's up in here. Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Barak, Ahtham. I saw that brother GMS Memphis in here, man. Beautiful lessons. I didn't even know that brother was on TikTok, man. Shalawam. All right, so let's keep it going. Verse 16 we was at. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. What's going on in LA, right? I did a YouTube lesson on it. You have protests that have been taking place, which are not getting a lot of light. It's not getting a lot of shine. Now, with certain articles coming out, let me get some articles that came out. All right, this is 1 day ago, man. U.S. military was deployed to L.A. protests despite low risk, general testifies. General involved in Trump's L.A. military deployment testifies he didn't hear protests. Los Angeles immigrant advocates plan day of protest boycotts after immigration raids at Home Depot, MacArthur Park. So this is stuff that's not getting major shine, but this stuff is happening as well. You have the U.S. military, right? I mean, that's why Watchmen got to watch. This stuff is taking place. And then you had a couple days ago, you had these two guys arrested because I think they assaulted. Let me see. Let me get it. Yeah, let's read this one. 2 individuals have been arrested and charged in Los Angeles in connection with recent protests. Emiliano Garduno Galvez and Waki Kioge are facing federal charges related to throwing Molotov cocktails at law enforcement during protests, specifically in Paramount and downtown Los Angeles. Both men are in custody, with Kioge already having an initial court appearance and Galvez expected to appear soon. So, what was we saying when all this first started taking place? And this came out, you had certain individuals being paid to make it get rowdy, being paid to get extra buck, right? Where you may have regular degulars trying to do a peaceful protest, but you have such organizations which are funded by George Soros and other individuals such as Antifa, which are sent to make a peaceful protest go unpeaceful. Right? Alright? Yeah, for a joker, we know. Alright, the brother said, I'm just an 18-year-old trying to be a godly man. But it's hard when you just surrounded by evil. And that's what it is. Psalms 23, man. Let's get that for you, bro. Let's get that for you. Alright? You know, this, I suggest you read this every day. Read this every day and come to the lives. You know, follow me, follow brothers in the comments that's posting scriptures. All right, and call on them names. You know what I'm saying? You was not sent here on accident. You here for a reason. Okay, this is Psalms the 23rd chapter. We're going to read it all. Yahawah, the Father's name would be right there. It would be Yahawah. Yahawah is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. America. All right? Wherever we at really with everything going on, it's the valley of the shadow of death. They seeking to take us out. Okay? Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi is with you. If you praying to him, you keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes, you seeking him diligently. Right? Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Yahawah forever. So he's preparing a table before us, before the presence of our enemies. That's why we so confident and we comfortable in these scriptures and in our lives, because we know Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi is about to take care of us in whatever situation is about to take place. Right? We sitting back, hoping for a lot of this stuff to pass. We hoping for FEMA and, ICE and all that to be implemented on the streets. and all this stuff to take place. We know if we got to go through something, we let it happen, right? We trusting in the Most High through it all, okay? Because the scriptures also say we got to be persecuted for the name of our King, Yahawashi. We got to be persecuted for this truth. The servant is not greater than the master. So if he went through it, then we got to go through some of it. We're not going to go through everything that he went through, most definitely, but we got to go through bits and pieces of it, right? Some brothers may have to get unalived. Some brothers may make it scot-free. Some brothers may be hid. You know, we all got different crosses to carry, different crosses to bear. But all we could do is, you know, pray and do what we can to the best of our ability. Study, read, research, and learn who we truly are, man. You said you look to be an Israelite, all right? And that the Israelites are the Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So we are God's chosen people. We are the people of the Bible. King David was an Israelite. Moses was an Israelite. All right? Adam. All right? We are sons of God. Okay? Elijah, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Elisha. Right? Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right? Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, Nathaniel, Nathan. Okay? All the brothers. Everybody in the scriptures, when it's referring to our nation, those are Israelites. Those are so-called black people, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? So that's our people. These are our people. Right? So let's keep it going, man. That Psalms 23, you know, matter of fact, let's touch on it a little bit more. All right? Thou anointeth my head with oil, my cup runneth over. That's not speaking about money, because you got some dummies that'll say, this is talking about money. No. Really, this truth, this wisdom is wealth. Brothers in here, we are the richest men on this planet. We are the richest men in existence because we have this truth. This truth makes you rich. We build up our treasures in heaven, right? As I said earlier in the live, everything gonna pass away. This desk, this menorah, this lamp, you know, all these stones, all this stuff is gonna be destroyed in the nukes. But guess what? If I be of the righteous, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi is gonna take my soul. He's gonna bring it up into a chariot, which is a so-called UFO, right? Which is a spaceship. And I'm gonna go into an everlasting body that's waiting for me. And then what? I'm gonna have rulership. He's gonna put a crown on my head, and I'm gonna have rulership in the kingdom, right? Exactly. In the new kingdom, we gonna be them guys, man. We gonna be them guys. We gonna have what? 100 wives, 1,000 seeds, and more. We gonna have resources. We gonna have diamonds, you know, whatever you like. Amethyst, lapis lazuli, whatever you like. Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi knows everything that you like, right? You're not going to have to eat. You're not going to have to sleep. You're not going to have to drink, right? You're going to have an everlasting body, man. We could talk about this forever, man. Yeah, we're going to have planets. We're going to have slaves. The scriptures talk about us having slaves. That's Isaiah the 14th chapter, verse 2, verse 3. That's Psalms 149. You know? But yeah, let me get back to it, man. But you know, I just try to comfort the brother a little bit, because this is what our people don't know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Shalawam, bro. So the brother Yasharahla Malak. Shalawam Malak. Alright, so let's keep it going. So sedition, as we read, it shall be sedition among men. So with the National Guard and all of this, and what we just showed you with these guys, right? And this is not an isolated case. This has happened before. With these guys fighting the government, regardless if they're paid or not, this is pushing others that may not be paid to be like, man, you know, we can't go out like no suckers. We gotta fight back too. It's putting something in your mind. It's planting a seed in your mind. And it's eventually going to cause riots and revolution, right? An illusion of one, because it's not really going to happen. Okay? So let's get that word sedition. And sedition means sedition is defined as conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. And Trump is a king. It is a crime that involves attempting to overthrow or undermine the government. This can include actions like inciting violence or disrupting government functions. We're not doing that. What we're doing, we Romans 13 it out. Let's go to Romans 13. We hit it yesterday, but we going to hit it again just in case ain't nobody get it. All right. The brother said, okay, Edom, Ishmael, Moab, all them going to pay for the parts they had. Yeah, okay. All right, bro. Yes, indeed. That's the Psalms 83 crew. Right? Moab had us in chains. Ammon had us in chains. Right? They enslaved us at one point in time. You know, Ishmael enslaved us at one point in time. The Arab slave trade. Yeah. Okay. And several other nations. You know, every nation will be under us. Most definitely. All right. So this is Romans 13, and we're going to read a little bit of it. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of power. The powers that be are ordained of power. Let's say you got a job and you got an annoying asshole of a boss. You know, Yahawah placed him there as a test. All right. Let's say you get pulled over. Yahawah, he put that cop in that position as a test to test you. These things are tests, right? You can't look at them any other way. That's what they are. It's no such thing as free will. So Yahawah had these things going on, man. You know, martial law come into place. Yeah, that's a test. He set up the government to give him that position to place martial law over you. You got all these jakes talking about where was God doing slavery? Guess what? He put you into slavery because you played the harlot. You went against him. And he ordained a power over you. He ordained these cavemen. They came out of caves, bro. They came out of caves and took us down. He ordained these cavemen to rule over you. Verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, power, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. Look at that dude. We talked about him yesterday, man. That dude with the dreads. You want to buck up at the cops. So they bust your windows and drag your ass out and beat your ass. You're supposed to agree with thine adversary quickly when you in the way of him. You don't supposed to, nah, I ain't got to give you my license. Nah, I ain't got to step out the car. Nah, I ain't got to do nothing. Nah, you going to get judged. Didn't we talk about Esau as the sword? The whole lesson is about Jacob's trouble, baby. So what is it talking about? Esau being the sword coming down on Jake. Yeah, other nations is going to feel it as well, but the majority is for Jake to be punished. Jake is going to get it the worst. The other nations, they don't know about the chip. They going to take the sea hip. Most of them, they going, oh, all we got to do is take this. And okay, I'll take it. Just how they took the jabby jab. All right. Verse 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. Just do what's good, man. All right. Your conscience won't be afflicted. You won't be sitting back like, man, Yahawah about to judge me because I did this, I did that. No, I don't like living that way. You don't want to live that way. Brother talking about he want to quit the Zah. That's beautiful. Because now that you know this truth, you coming into this truth and you know what you're supposed to do. So you know you should not be blowing Zah. Because that goes into 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. Your temple. Yahawah dwells in your temple. If you defile your temple, then it's what? He will destroy you. So by smoking, you are what? You are destroying your lungs. You need your lungs to operate your temple. So therefore, you are defiling your temple. Because you got these jakes talking about, well, it doesn't say in the Bible that we can't. It does. You can't defile your temple. Right? You know? So at the end of the day. And yeah, it say every herb is good for you. Yeah. Cannabis is actually a good herb for you. It helps your eyes. It helps your blood. It helps your heart. Most definitely. But you don't supposed to smoke it. You can ingest it. You make some brownies or something. You know? You could do that. But, you know, if you know that that's your flaw in the world, if you know that that's your flaw in the world, I would just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? I would just leave it alone. That's what I did. Like, I left it alone. I ain't making no brownies. I ain't trying to do all that. No, I just left it alone, period. Okay? And plus, we know that a lot of it is contaminated, especially that store-bought shit. All right? A lot of that got some other shit mixed in with it that will have you doing some other shit. Okay? So, yeah, it's best you keep away from it because you know that that's your crutch. That's your flaw. Right? Let's say, brother, you had a problem messing with other dudes, girls in the world. Well, you should probably not have a woman for a while. Just cut back. All right? You had whatever you know your sins. Leave that shit alone. All right? Leave that shit alone. So once again, sedition is going up against the government, fighting, etc., etc. This is taking place all over the planet, not just in America, Babylon, but you see it in France, you see it in South America, you see it in Africa. You know, you had in Sudan, they just bombed the airport, man. They literally dropped a bomb on the airport. Why is that shit not on the news? Right? But all you hear about is Ukraine and Russia. All you hear about is Israel and Syria and Hamas and all that shit. You got these other places. It's wars going on everywhere. It's over 18 wars going on this planet. Minor wars, minor little skirmishes. But all you hear about is what you being programmed to hear about. The propaganda. When Yahawashi said rumors of wars, wars and rumors of wars, he wasn't just talking about 2 wars. No, nigga. All right? Have y'all forgot that Pakistan and India, 2 nuclear capable countries, Salakia, are fighting one another? They literally was fighting each other with F-18s. Pakistan and India. The alliances are set. The alliances are set. Okay? And call on Yahawah, bro. You know? Call on Yahawah. Get used to saying the name of Yahawah and Yahawashi. I know it's going to take some time, but that's the best bet, man. Because that'll help you get up out of that. But that's good, though. You got to fear the Most High. You know? Yes, it's terrifying. That's good. All right? And that's the beginning of wisdom. You fearing him. Okay, so let's get a couple more precepts, man. I'm done. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. What was going on? Let's go back to TikTok.
Also says homeless people could be jailed if they don't comply with efforts to clear encampments. Some Democrats slamming the move as presidential overreach.
This is about the president playing king, trying to be the authoritarian.
What we just say? He's a king. The king.
And leader, the dictator.
But after meeting with Attorney General Pam Bondi today, the city's Democratic mayor striking a cooperative tone.
If and while we have this federal surge, we're going to put those officers to good use.
D.C. residents we spoke to today had mixed reactions.
It's unnecessary and frightening. There's crime in any city, and this is not solving a crime problem.
Oh, it's crime in any city, right, lady? Thank you, Karen. So this can be applied to any city. Like I said, this is the example. This is the experiment. This is this is gonna be, just do what they did in DC over here. You see how they getting down in DC, right? They got over 7,000, 8,000 troops on the ground. National Guard brought in, Secret Service brought in, federal agents brought in, FBI, CIA, whatever it may be. Just do what they did in DC over here. Man, y'all understand what Jacob's trouble is, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all understand what Jacob's trouble is, man. The cruel Lord, the water, yes, let's get it. Okay? The cruel Lord. I don't understand what Jacob's trouble is, man. This is Isaiah 19 chapter. Let's start at the top. The burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahawah rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt. This is speaking about America. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, Americans against Americans. And they shall fight everyone against his brother. The foes of a man's household. All right, your foes shall be those of your own household. That means your family members. That also means your fellow tribesmen. Judah against Judah. Benjamin against Benjamin. Or Judah against Benjamin. That's still your brother. All right. At the end of the day, that's your fellow Israelite. You're going to be fighting your own people. All right. And this is speaking about 2/3. Because we ain't going to be out there on them streets. What we going to be doing? We going to be in our crib. Or wherever we at. Out the way. We're not going to be participating in protests. We're not going to be participating in the purge. No. That's not what we're here for. Okay? And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord and a fierce king, that is Nero, DJT, shall rule over them, saith Yahawah, Yahawah of hosts. This is what's taking place, man. All right. Let's go back over there. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Why? That ain't gonna happen. I can always leave my city. Not when it's 10,000 troops. Not when it's 10 troops at the exit with roadblocks. Y'all talking shit. A lot of y'all individuals can barely make it through a designated drive, a DUI checkpoint. What you gonna do in Jacob's trouble, man? You can't make it through a DUI checkpoint. You talk about, I'm just gonna run through the roadblock. No, your dumb ass ain't. Okay? Your ass gonna be pulled out the car and beat down. Okay? The brother said, I've been watching IUIC. They're bugged out. And ISUPK, they bugged out. And they don't like each other. So I'm kind of lost. I don't know who right. Ak, listen to me, bro. Did I bring out scriptures? Okay? Did I bring out the scriptures? All right? It doesn't, fuck the names. Did the scriptures come out? Are you understanding what we talking about? All right? I'm giving you visuals. I'm giving you the word. I'm breaking it down to you. All right? I'm going to tell you right now, IUIC and ISUPK, they both bugged out. They both teach a wicked-ass doctrine. Okay? My suggestion to you is to stop watching those guys. All right? You need to watch Great Millstone. GMS. You need to watch Great Millstone. GMS. Okay? That's it, bro. As you see, us brothers in here, we are under the elders and apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. We are either affiliated or we are in the camp. All right? That's why we coming like this. We coming with that truth, that 100% doctrine. We ain't coming with no BS. Those guys over there, hey, I could do hundreds of lessons breaking down how they go off. All right? But I'm gonna keep going, and I want you to ask yourself, have I been bringing out scriptures, etc., etc.? All right? Let's keep it going. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able because of these military operations, National Guard, all right, the army, these things being deployed in the city and your path being blocked. As the brother said earlier in the chat, 15-minute cities. Right? Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. So how much more for the women? How much more for you women? You thought you could do it all by yourself. We talking about neighbor fighting against neighbor, brother fighting against brother, Egyptian fighting against Egyptian, as we read. Okay? You're not going to be able to withstand that. People, dudes, coming up to your house, kicking open the door or busting in the window and taking you and having his way with you. This is what we're talking about, man. Okay? So you women, you really need to pray. All right? You really need to seek a man of Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi. If you listening to one and he's bringing out the correct doctrine, listen to him and wait on that time. Trust in Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi to take you and keep you safe during that time. Right? Women got to get back in order, man. The correct order. Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. What? What did it say over here? What did it say over here? And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. Now let's read it one more time over here. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. What's the modern day sword? The pew pew, right? And then yeah, the brothers gave you GMS Elders the Milk and GMS Vault. Hey, screenshot that. Write them down, bro. Write them down. All right? The Elders is going to get you right. And we try to go live every single day. You know, follow me. I'll follow you back, bro. I'll send you the live. And, you know, try to come in here every single time that we live, man. All right? So, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. That means your next door neighbor, he could just go crazy and just, man, we ain't got no food. Because look, let's paint a picture. The truckers are going to be shut down. You got 15-minute cities. The truckers are going to be shut down. Ain't no trucks going to be moving goods. You're going to have no ships coming in with goods. All right? So the truckers, they're not moving anymore. What you have in the grocery store, that's it. It's going to all run out. You know how people panicked in 2021? Everybody ran to the grocery store, bought up toilet tissue, bought up milk and bread, like little rats trapped. That's what happened. That's what took place. Okay? How much more now? Exactly, bro. A famine. People will show themselves. You're going to have your auntie, you got some food. Auntie going to say, no, baby, you can't come over here, baby. I'm sorry. You might even have your own mama turning the cold shoulder to you. Your own daddy, your own father turning the cold shoulder to you. Right? This is what's going to happen. All right? Your cousin who you was cool with for 20 years coming to your house knowing that you had a little bit of food stocked up, and he pulling that pew pew up on you. He like, cuz, I need that food, cuz. I can't feed my family. I can't feed my family, cuz. When people can't feed the baby, they start going crazy. Exactly. Some family members about to eat one another. According to Deuteronomy 28, 54 through 56. That's what's going to take place. Cannibalism will be coming back. You look at what happened in Haiti. Cannibalism was happening. That was being reported that they were eating one another over there. All right. And the brother said with these tariffs, ain't going to be no goods coming in abundance. Exactly. So why is a man going to be fighting his neighbor? It says no pity. And we're going to get that 2 Esdras 6 because y'all brothers keep throwing it up on the board, man. I got to get it. All right. Let's get that real quick. This is 2 Esdras 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. What does suddenly mean? All of a sudden, just out of nowhere. You went to Walmart yesterday. You was like, oh, they had this, they got that, they got that. You know, you shouldn't really be shopping at Walmart. Shit trash anyway. I'm going to tell you that. So you went to wherever you went. They had food. You came back the next day. And now everything gone because martial law was declared. 15-minute city was declared. Right? Emergency was declared. They talking about this about to happen, this about to happen. They shutting this down. They shutting this down. Once again, Egyptians are going to be moving like rats. Trapped. Scurrying everywhere. I got to get this. I got to get gas. I remember it was lines down the block just to get some gas, man. All right? Con, we'll get that Ecclesiastes too. It's Ecclesiastes 12. 3 and 6. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Question to the comment board. Who's the keepers? Who's the keepers of the house? Who's that referring to? Who is this individual talking about Jehovah got your back? Jehovah ain't got your back. Jehovah is on your back. That's a demon on your back. Ain't no J in the Hebrew. That's not the Father's name. The Father's name is Yahawah. All right? That's your correction. The Father's name is Yahawah, and the Son's name is Yahawashi. All right? Oh, that's Moonbeam. Moonbeam, you came up before, sister. We taught you the name, sister. Come on now. All right, man. But who's the keepers of the house? Let's not get distracted. Who is the keepers of the house? All right, yeah, let her be, man. I mute her if she keep talking. Let's not get distracted, man. Come on. Who's the keepers of the house? I only see one brother answering. 2 brothers. We got 27 individuals in here. 3 people out of 27. Come on, can I get 3 more answers? Exactly. Esau. Edom. Yeah, that's who's the keepers of the house is. All right. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. So they terrified right now. Do you know they scared right now? Why? Let's go to Revelations. They are terrified right now, man. This is Revelations 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from power entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. When you see the brothers out on the corners, this is why nobody want to come up to us. They terrified. Especially Esau, Edom, the banking families who got the records, who know who we are. They know what happened. They know the history. They like, them damn prophets is back. The prophets is back. The prophets is back. They scared, boy. They terrified. They shaking in their boots. Because they know. They know the book ain't no... Look, man. They got archaeological evidence that we came up out of Egypt. And they know the path that we took. Okay? They got archaeological evidence. All right? All the stuff in the Bible, you don't think they dug it up? They know what happened. So they know that this Bible is true. Okay? They commune with Baal, with Satan. They like Yahawah has him dealing with them until he wants to cut them off from him. So they know. Okay? They know that the spiritual realm is real. You know? So they are extremely terrified that we are back. We don't got no militia. We don't got no weapons. We don't got none of that. They looking at us like, damn, how is, you got the elders in New York and Connecticut. How is the elders, you know, they came up. Now, how is it brothers in California and brothers in Chicago and brothers in Atlanta, brothers in Trinidad, right? Brothers in Australia. How are these men saying the same exact thing? They don't know one another. But he's saying, and it's the Holy Spirit. It's the Rakah Kadash, right? How are brothers saying the I can't talk. The same thing, man. Okay, let's get that from the brother Ariyah. And then we got to go back to that Ecclesiastes 12:3, because I want that. This is Isaiah 19:17. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of Yahawah of hosts, which he hath determined against it. What's the land of Judah? That's speaking about us, the Israelites. All right? We shall be a terror amongst Egypt. Is Egypt in power right now? No. That's talking about America, Babylon. This is spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom. Let's take it back to Ecclesiastes 12:3-6. Once again, in that day, when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease working, jobs. Man, I saw a TikTok. It was like 3,000 people fired, let go at whatever corporation, and then like another 1,000 let go at this corporation, 2,000 let go at this corporation. They let go like 25% of people at Moderna. Okay? And what are all these corporations doing? They're using AI. They're converting to AI, running their corporations. You ever walked in one of those McDonald's? Don't eat at McDonald's, but they have these, or one of those restaurants in general. You ever walked in one of those restaurants where, and really, you know, don't be at fast foods, right? But they have them automated right now. All right? They don't even got people cooking. You got a place out here called Flappies or Flippies or Flappy. I don't mess with that stuff. But I saw it on the news. And nobody works there except AI. That's it. It's automatic. It's 100% AI. Right? So this is what's taking place. They're firing people left and right, as the brother said. They don't need you anymore, Jake. They don't need you. Well, I'm always have a job until you lose that job. You're going to always have a job until you lose that job. I didn't think I was going to get fired. Look at me now. I'm at home. I'm at home, you know what I'm saying? Shoot. It is what it is, though. The water Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, he always provides and makes a way. Right? So let's keep it going. Verse 4. Actually, verse 3 again. And the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be in a burden, and desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets, or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return into power who gave it. This is speaking of much tragic, much torment, much pain, economies. You look at it, I'm going to sum it up. An economy failing. When an economy falls, it's no jobs. What is that also called? A recession. Right? Exactly, bro. Collapse of the system. Let's pin that. A collapse of the system. That's what we're reading about. Right? And that's what we also reading about in 2nd Esdras 6 and 23, which we just read as well. Let's go back to 2nd Esdras 15. And let's begin to close, man. I ain't mean for this lesson to be over an hour. All right. Let's read 15 and 19 again. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. That means your house, your family, because your house is really your family. Your seed, what you planted, that's your house. Right? Like, this house ain't my house. We can move into another house, right? But my house is those that I've planted, my kids, So houses are going to be destroyed. Individuals. And spoil their goods. Goods, things that you own. Your car, your house, your Xbox, whatever, man. Stupid shit. All right? Because of the lack of bread, because of famine, and for great tribulation. That tribulation is talking about Jacob's trouble, baby. Back to the topic of the lesson. Okay? You said, what store did I be shopping at? I go to what area you in? But I go to like Whole Foods store. I go to Sprouts. They got Sprouts on the West Coast. It's more so for healthy stuff. I go to Stater Brothers. I don't go to Walmart. Like I said, I don't go to Walmart. If I go to Walmart, I'm not getting no food there. Yeah, Sprouts. Okay, bro. Yeah, Sprouts. That's where it's at. I mess with Sprouts. They're a little expensive, but it's got better quality materials, better quality food, But yeah, I don't get my food from Walmart. That would be the point of why I said that. Because it's trash. For anybody. Walmart is trash. All right, do not get your meat or your vegetables or your fruit from Walmart, man. He think he better than us. Hell nah. Vons is good too. Vons is fire. But Vons is expensive too. Yeah, they overpriced as a mug. Yeah. But, while we on that, brothers and sisters don't know, fruits and vegetables, you always want to wash them with baking soda and vinegar. All right? Let them soak in baking soda and vinegar for at least 20 minutes. That will help you get certain parasites and pesticides up off of them. All right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got that money. He going to Vons. I used to go to Vons when I had a school check coming in. No, not no more. I gotta preserve. Shoot. Oh, yeah, bro. Vallarta. I go to Vallarta. What y'all know about that Vallarta? Yeah, to Ash, all these is solid. I mess with them from time to time. I get my meat from Aldi's. I ain't tripping on them. Right? But I mess with that Vallarta out here. But shoot, man. That's pretty much the lesson. All right? I was letting you know that because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. That includes 15-minute cities. That includes truckers stop trucking. Supplies are going to stop moving. Okay? It's going to be no food nowhere. This is why people are going to be spoiling one another. So, hey, let's get it. Matter of fact, I'm going to end it with this. And then we'll take any type of questions for about 5 minutes. And then we'll wrap it up. This is Isaiah 65 and 13. Because, y'all like, oh, you giving me a problem, but you're not giving me no solution. The solution is always Yahawashi. That's the solution. Therefore, thus saith Yahawah power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So the servants are going to be good. Those that truly serve Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, that listen. To be a servant, first and foremost, you got to listen. Doesn't the Father give orders? Isn't orders given? Isn't commandments given? Laws are given. A standard of living is given. So to be a servant, you must be a good listener. To be a leader, you must be a good follower. Right? To be a good teacher, you must be a good student. Right? You know? So I'm going to end it with that, man. We'll take any type of questions for the next 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And I'll wrap it up, man. It's 26 people in here. Anybody got anything? And Shalawam, Yahawah Hashem, Yahawashi, Barak, Ahtham to everybody up in here. You know. A brother or sister could put the names of Yahawah and Yahawashi in here. All right. The brother says, so keep praying and fasting to beat those Zod demons. Yeah, pray and fast, but most definitely you got to pray to the correct name. That's why I told you stop calling on God and actually call on his name. God is just a title. The scriptures say it be Lord's many, it be God's many. Right? So you got to call on his name. You know? The brother said, where does it talk about the dead being raised and judged in the scripts? That's Daniel, the 12th chapter. Let's get that. The brother Arya, you want to come up? Let me get you up here. I sent you the invite. Quick question. The brother said, what type of fish you be eating? Red snapper, cod, sea bass, you know, bass in general. What else, man? Salmon, all right? Atlantic salmon, right? Wild salmon, if you could get it. It got the bones in it, but it's better, okay? What else, man? What's that other shit? Halibut, right? I'll be messing with that, you know. So, fins and scales, right? All lawful, okay? There's plenty of fish out there for us to eat, you know. There's plenty of fish out there for us to eat. So let's get this Daniel 12 and 12 for the brother. Salakia, Daniel 12 and 1 and 2. And at that time shall Michael, this is talking about Jacob's trouble. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Key words. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life. Now, before we go to the next scripture, let's get that. All right, what does it say to that? 1 Thessalonians 4 and 16. For Yahawashi himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, and the voice of the archangel, that's Michael. That's exactly what we're talking about. And with the trump of power, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Right? So, Salakia. Going back to it. And many of them that sleep in the earth, sleep in the dust of the earth, shall awake. So the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Some to everlasting life, those everlasting bodies, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. So, as the elder said all the time, we say it, right? You will, let's say you unalive right now, but you was wicked. You didn't die in Hamashiach. Okay? You was wicked. You called on Jesus, you called on Jehovah, you called on whatever. All right? You coming back to a regularized body, and you're going to be thrown into the lake of fire. That's what it means. All right? You coming back for shame and everlasting contempt. You're going to be thrown into the lake of fire. And then after your time period or burning is, you will be brought back at reproduction. You will be brought back through reproduction, reincarnation, regeneration. Okay? Because everlasting mercy, because of Isaiah 45:17, all of Israel, the world of Israel shall be saved with an everlasting salvation. So all of our nation will eventually be saved. It's just some have to go through ICBM missiles, lake of fire, and some will be able to walk into the kingdom. Right? So that's where it talks about that. The dead being raised and judged in the scripts. All right. The water for the brother Reggie, putting Yahawah and Yahawashi in the comments. Dang, are you still on lockdown? Yeah, it's all good, man. All right. But yeah, we got any more questions? 24 people in here. Any more questions? Any more questions? Anybody? Anything? On anything? What's the difference between 1/3 and the elect? Khan, we answered that one last week. We could do it again. So the 144,000, right? Because the 1/3 is of the elect, same individuals, right? But the 144,000 is more so it's a rank, right? The 144,000 will be the prophets, the men that's in charge. How you have the Congress, right? So look at it like that. You got Yahawashi, you got Congress, and then you got the ones that's below, like the House of Representatives. They're not senators, but they're House of Representatives. That's the 1/3. Now the Senate, that would be the 144,000. You have a different rank, a ruling class, right? So 1/3 would be what? Men, women, and children. It's no men, it's no women or children in the 144,000. So that's a major difference between the 1/3 and the 144,000. All right? So that's a major difference. But furthermore, the 1/3 includes the 144,000, or the 144,000 is over the 1/3 far as ranking order, ranking structure. Right? And then under them, you have the 2/3, the wicked of our nation. So look at it like this. The 144,000 and the 1/3 will be beamed up into chariots. The 1/3 is just the rest of the nation that's actually righteous. They taking the names of Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi. They calling on the names. They trying to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability, right? They're friends of the prophets, kids of the prophets, wives of the prophets. Let's go to Isaiah 4:1, because that might help you even understand it some more. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. This is speaking about 7 women, which is a complete number. It can refer to 10 or 20 or 30 women. The 144,000 are those men that these women are going to be searching for. Okay? And 1/3 men. All right? So it could be 1/3 men, 1/3 brothers that are not preachers. They're not teachers. They're not prophets. But they call on the name of Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi. Right? They wasn't called to be prophets. They wasn't called to be teachers. Right? They're not on the corners. They're watching the corners. You got to ask yourself, we be on the corners, well, what about the brothers that's just watching? That's the 1/3. They just watching. They not called to teach. They sincerely believe, as the brother said. Right? So that's the 1/3. They're righteous though. So those 7 women, which could be 10, 20, or 30 women, that will be a part of the 1/3. They will cleave to one man. So when he go into that chariot and he got all these women with him and their kids, his kids, they will go into that chariot with him. So brothers will be going into chariots with a bucket load of women and children. Right? If you can understand that. Because these women are going to be cleaving unto men after the war, in the war, doing WW3. When their men are shipped off in the draft to go and fight, they're going to be like, their man is unalived. So therefore, she's going to be made a widow. So it's going to be lawful for her to get with another man. Because if her man was still alive, it would not be lawful for her to get with another man. All right? This is why in Isaiah, the 3rd chapter at the end, it talks about their men shall be unalive in the streets, and their mighty shall fall in the war. Okay? So that's important to know. These women, they might have chose Pookie and Ray Ray, but Pookie and Ray Ray is going to get hit with a stray, and they going to come see us. That's what's going to happen. And then you got women that's just sitting back listening that's going to come see us. So this is what's going to take place, man. Yeah, Jacob's trouble as well. All right, can you explain the new moon, dark moon? What's the beginning of the month? The beginning of the month is the new moon. The word new means new. It's new. That's it. Point blank, period. All right, I can explain it for you. So let's get the cycles of the moon. Right? You got the cycles of the moon right here. So, as you can see, this is a new moon. Now, the moon fills in according to the right. It comes in on the right. So, this is the new moon. You will have the waxing crescent, and then you will have the first quarter moon. So, it's going like that. This is the first day of the month, day 1. Then it would go, and this would be 8 days into the month. So, this day is as a Shabbat. It's the new moon. It's actually a feast. You're supposed to eat and celebrate on this day. And, you can't cook. You treat it like a Sabbath, right? You treat it like a Shabbat. And then you work for 6 days. Boom, 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 boom. And I'll get a calendar and show it to you on that as well. And then you have a Shabbat. This will be the 8th day of the month. All right. So then you what? You have a Shabbat. You rest. You keep it. You don't have no intercourse. You don't burn no fire. If you don't have to go to work, then that's great. But if you have to go to work, we in captivity, you got to go to work. It is what it is. We in captivity. All right, Yahawah Yahawashi is not going to destroy you because you had to work on the Sabbath. Now, if you working and, you didn't have to work, like I don't do no yard work on the Sabbath because it's the Sabbath. Okay? I don't have to do that yard. I can do that yard work tomorrow. I can do it, another day. So you don't do your own pleasure on the Sabbath. You get what I'm saying? So then you work for 6 days, and then it's going to be what? The 15th day of the month. That will be another Sabbath. All right? The full moon Shabbat. So as you can see, as these days are going, it's all lining up on the moon cycles. Right? Then you work 6 days and boom, it's going to be another Shabbat, the 3rd quarter. Then you work 6 days and hold up, it's going to be another Shabbat. And then you're going to be looking for the new moon. So it's going to be 1 week out of the month where it's 2 Shabbats. All right. I'll bring it up on the calendar and show you. So right now, the Shabbat is what? It's Thursday to Friday. All right. So I put it right there, full moon Shabbat, to let myself know. Right. And the new moon Shabbat right here, new moon Shabbat, it started right there. Right. So that was Thursday to Friday because the Shabbat starts when the moon declares it. It comes out. So a Shabbat starts evening to evening. All right. Let's get Psalms 81 and 3. And any precepts brothers is putting up, I get it as well, Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. So you blow up the trumpet in the new moon on the time appointed. Let's get Ezekiel 46 and 1. Thus saith Yahawah power, the gate of the inner court that looketh towards the east. And why? Because we pray towards the east. All right, we pray towards what? Jerusalem, the holy city. So when you pray, that's another thing, bro. Right? When you praying off that spirit, these demons and things of that nature, you pray towards the east. Right now, the east is that way. So at the end of this lesson, I'm going to turn towards the east, and I'm going to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakadash. I'm going to face towards the east, towards the holy city. Right? So thus saith Yahawah power, the gate of the inner court that looketh towards the east shall be shut the 6 working days. But on the Shabbat, it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon, it shall be open. Right? These days are synonymous with each other. Now, you cannot fast on the new moon. Understand that. But you can fast on any other Shabbat, any other day. But on the new moon, you can't fast. All right? On the Passover, you can't fast. You're supposed to eat the lamb. Right? Okay? You can use the compass on your phone to find the east, or you could just know where the east at. I'm messing with you, sister, but yeah, the sun, it rises on what? It rises on the east, and it sets in the west. That's something we should know. So the sun rises in the east, it sets in the west. If we were sailing, we was on a ship or something, we would use that to know which direction we're going. Hey, the sun coming up. Go that way. We got to go east. Go that way. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? All right. During the new moon, do you have to eat lamb as well? Nah, you can eat whatever you want. You don't got to eat lamb. The only day you really got to eat lamb is the Passover. All right. Now, I mean, on feast days, I normally cook lamb. Like on Feast of Tabernacles, right? Purim, certain other feast days. Yeah, I prepare lamb, but you could cook turkey. You could cook chicken. You could do some goat. You know what I'm saying? You could do other animals. But on Passover, you have to do lamb, right? But on the new moon, you can do whatever you want, right? So, keeping it going for the brother. So, the Shabbat started on that Thursday, 24 to 25, right? So, this would be a day, evening to evening. Now, after that, after the sun goes down, it's no longer that day. It's the second day. It would also be on the 25th. So, you would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see? So, that's the 7th day. Even though that's the 8th day of the month, it's the 7th day according to when the Shabbat ended, when the new moon ended. It's the 7th day. So you would rest that day and it falls back on Thursday. So you would rest evening to evening and then you would do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's the 15th day of the month, starting from the new moon, right? But it's the 7th day according to when the Shabbat ended, right? So you would rest on that day. That's the Shabbat. And then do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the day we on right now. 6, 7. So our next Shabbat, third quarter, is what? It's Thursday, the 14th. And then the tricky part, we're going to do it again, right? That evening to evening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last Shabbat is what? Right here. And then you're going to be looking for the new moon, which is most likely going to be on the 22nd that Friday, or it could be on the 23rd, that Saturday. All right? So the Sabbath changes. You get what I'm saying, bro? It changes every single month. All right, you got that understanding? Is the brother still in here? 44? All right, Con. So I don't see no more questions. So I'm going to wrap it up, man. All right, facing the east, all praises be to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us his truth. And Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as the 1/3 men, women, and children. All right, Shalawam, as always, Kwam Yasharahla, and a Baba ball to this wicked kingdom. May Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi destroy this bitch soon, man. All right, Shalawam to you, brothers. The water for every precept and every, all the input y'all gave me in this lesson, man. The water for helping, as always. Shalawam.